So you want to know if you can fly your Mavic 2 drone in extreme temperatures. I have the answers for you, so stay tuned. Okay, so it's winter and the temperatures are getting really cold in the northern climate, or it's summer and the temperatures are extremely hot in the deserts in the southern climate, or vice versa. And you want to know if you can use your drone in these extreme temperatures. And I'm here to answer those questions for you because that is on everyone's mind when they buy a drone and they're actually serious about what they do. Recently, I had a project to film, which you probably saw, which was the fall foliage video. And I had my drone in the trunk of my car. I left it in there overnight. It got fairly cold out. I went to the location to film, turned on the drone, and the thing said, too cold to fly. So I couldn't take off. Too cold to take off. So that got me thinking, is there a certain temperature where you can't fly the drone safely? Or is there a certain situation where you can't do it? Because I've seen videos out there where people are flying through blizzards, or they're flying in a desert in extreme heat. So I'm here to pretty much go over. I contacted DJI and they gave me the rundown on what to do. They do recommend the operating temperature to store your batteries at, which this is right here, 5 Celsius to 40 Celsius, which equals out to 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So in Ohio right now, it's been getting down to about 28 degrees at night. So if you do leave your drone or your batteries outside, it's going to make the batteries so cold that you won't be able to take off. Or if you're, let's say, in Arizona during the summer and you leave your drone out and it's 110, it's not going to safely take off. Now, the reason why the cold weather with the batteries, it won't allow the propellers to spin fast enough, and that is obviously a huge issue when you're potentially flying your drone 4 miles away at 400 feet. If it just drops out of the sky, it could kill a dog or a person. So what can you do if you are in these extreme temperatures? Let's find out. Step 1, make sure your batteries are fully charged. I know this seems pretty rudimentary, but this battery is fully charged, but these are smart batteries, so if you don't use them for 10 days, they start discharging themselves, so they last longer, but it extends the life of the battery. So if you haven't used your drone in 10 days, it will start discharging itself down to 8%. So make sure your batteries are charged before you fly. Step 2, never over discharge your batteries in these extreme temperatures. So normally when I'm flying my drone, I have it set on there at 20 minutes, the battery's at 25% to warn me that the battery's low so I can bring it back. You might want to up that up to about 35% so you don't discharge the battery too much to, you know, potentially having your aircraft fall out of the sky. Make sure your batteries get cycled every 20 uses. So again, what that means is you cycle your battery down to 8% and then you charge it fully back up. That keeps the battery at full capacity. And like I said, they're smart batteries, so they do that on their own. So that's my baby in the background. She's yelling. So they do it on their own. So just make sure you do that every 20 flights. So if you are flying in extreme temperatures, and again, extreme temperatures for a drone, it's 5 Celsius to 40 Celsius, which again is 41 to 105 Fahrenheit. Shorten your flight time, because you got to imagine, if it's 40 degrees at wherever you're standing, if you go 400 feet up, it's going to be a lot colder. So shorten your flight time, so don't go very, very far. If you normally fly for 15 minutes, cut it down to 10 minutes. When you originally take off, make sure you just let the drone hover and have the motors warm up. Let them hover for, this is all for cold temperatures, let them hover for about 60 seconds to 2 minutes, and that will ensure that the motors are warmed up and ready to take flight. Don't keep the aircraft fully accelerated for long periods of time. That's going to put a huge strain on the battery, and if it's in an extreme temperature, if it's really hot, your battery could expand and blow up, or if it's really cold, it could drain the battery super fast and your drone could fall out of the sky. If you are traveling, like doing a hike, or you're like on location for a shoot, and you have to take your batteries with you in extreme temperatures, make sure they're in some sort of insulated carrying case. So like if it's really hot out, put it in like a foam case. And if it's really cold, they recommend you actually get a bag of warm rice, which not cooked, uncooked rice, heated up, it keeps the heat for a very long time. Or you've seen those hand warmers you can buy at like the sporting goods store. You can put those in with the battery, and that'll keep it warm enough when you're out. Yes, I am working right now, by the way. That's my mom. And the next step, just use common sense. If there's a blizzard outside, the wind's blowing, it's negative 40 degrees, you probably shouldn't be using your drone. Because fun fact about batteries, the colder it is, the faster they drain. So when you're flying your drone with your cell phone as a screen, the battery in your phone does the same exact thing. So if it's really cold out or it's really hot out, it's going to put a really big strain on your battery. So what happens if you lose sight on your screen and your drone's 400, 1,200 feet away? What are you going to do? How do you fly it back to where you're at? It's very difficult. So this is what you can do. Can you fly your drone in extreme temperatures? Short answer is yes, you can. Should you? Yes, you should. But just be smart about it. Follow the steps that I've laid out, and you will be safely flying your drone. If you don't follow the steps, you're probably going to impale your neighbor's pet. Like it, share, subscribe, says for life, peace, and you're welcome.